The World Is Not Enough, perhaps one of the best James Bond openings in its franchise, maybe up to this point. We'll find out as I continue with my James Bond marathon here, watching every James Bond movie from beginning to end, up to the second to last Pierce Brosnan James Bond. One thing I think is for sure, though, this has probably one of the best boat chase scenes in any movie, especially in James Bond. I mean, that boat chase scene that they have at the beginning of this movie has about everything. You got action, a little bit of suave, unrealistic stuff, especially the part where James Bond goes under the water and he has time to fix his tie. That's pretty cool because it's pure James Bond, right? Pure James Bond aura. Then he goes through the streets to get to his target, to his woman assassin, who gets kind of blown up in a hot air balloon at the end of this sequence. But yes, this is movie starts off with the blast, with the bang, and it continues all the way through. I do actually like the very beginning when they're in the office and he's trying to get off the building, and he kind of ties that rope to the guy and uses him to help him propel down and to escape those chasing James Bond. It kind of has, in a way, when you think about it, kind of has like two opening action sequences. You got that where he's in a bank and somebody gets assassinated. Oh, and then sorry. Anyways, gets assassinated, and then he goes back and reports it to the office, and then you have the big boat chase scene in this movie, which was, like I said, probably one of the best boat chase scenes ever. Pierce Brosnan is on top of this James Bond game in this one. You got some cool gadgets. I think he has the remote control car again. I think that's like one of the big things with Pierce Brosnan's James Bonds. You got those remote control cars. I guess those great X-ray glasses. Checking out, see who's carrying guns and what's the women are wearing underneath their dresses. Big pervert James Bond is in that one. And you got Sophia. Always mess up her name. Sophia Marceau. Is that how you say her last name? I don't know. But she does a fantastic job in this role playing Electra King. She might steal the movie, really. She plays it so well. She plays a woman who gets a little bit of a Stockholm syndrome. She was kidnapped, and, you don't pay terrorists, and it's kind of broke her and made her join the villain type. And the villain kind of falls in love with her as well, and he ends up helping her in her conquest to become the number 1 oil tycoon. You do kind of get like the little politics of this is kind of elaborate, plays into today's politics a little bit. She keeps on accusing her father and I guess the British government of stealing her ancestors' land. That's big for her, and she wants her land, her oil, to reclaim her people. Is one of her motivations. So you hear that all the time on the news. We live on stolen land, stuff like that. It kind of plays a role in this movie as well. So Electra King's character would fit right into today's society. I guess one of the down areas is Denise Richards' character. Is she miscast or is the character miswrote? Because the character feels like it belongs in a Roger Moore movie. Roger Moore, James Bond's a little bit more lighter. You get a lot of action, but it plays more with like the lighter side, I guess, of his stories, and his villains are a little bit on the lighter side as well. And while Pierce, his movies are more balanced. You got the grit and the violence and the no nonsense stuff. But you do got a little bit more. His character as Bond is more suave. He does got those tongue-in-cheek type of dialogue and in his movies. And every once in a while you get a little bit of like a light side, but for most part, his movies are pretty serious. And Denise Richards' character feels like this is how they have her dressed, and how her act feels like she would have been right at home with a Roger Moore type of movie. Plus, it's kind of hard to see Denise Richards in this with a crop top and really short shorts, being like a nuclear scientist type of person. But overall, I think she plays the character pretty well. It's just the problem is everybody else feels like they're in a different movie than she is, and she can be kind of stiff with her mannerisms in her dialogue, how she delivers her lines. It's sometimes don't really fit. So I would say she's the weakest link, but I don't know how much of it's her fault. How much is it the director's? It's always hard to tell on these kind of things if somebody can't act or not. Because sometimes it's the director and sometimes it's not. But in this one, I'm going to put a little bit more blame on Denise Richards considering how well everybody else did. Unless the director was giving her different instructions than he did the rest of the cast. Pardon me while I look at my notes to see what else I got going on. There are clues, this is going to be a spoiler. That Electric King is actually the villain. And it all comes together at the end when it's the big reveal that she's the villain. At the beginning, they're on their little, they're going to check out the oil, the pipeline, and they're on their snowmobiles. And they're getting chased. You got these people coming out from helicopters shooting at them. And Electra goes a different way than James Bond, and nobody goes after her. They're all shooting at James Bond. It's like little hints like that, hey, perhaps she's the bad guy. And then we got him being captured, which was pretty cool, that she's actually on the front line kind of in this movie instead of in her office. And we kind of get to see M's brilliance too, and why she's kind of like the director. She doesn't really give in. Renard, we kind of return back to the superhuman type of villains. Every once in a while we get a few of these henchmen like Jaws. This guy, he has a bullet in his brain that's slowly going to the center, but where it's located, he can't feel any pain. He can't feel anything whatsoever. Which is kind of frustrating when you got somebody as beautiful and hot as Sophia touching you in certain areas and you can't feel that sensation. But, he's dangerous, but he also is going up against the time clock himself as he's trying to get her, let her achieve her desires. In a way, he's kind of like a tragic character, but he's also very evil as well, considering he's the one that set her on this way. And like I said, James Bond, like Pierce does this both like very gritty, Timothy Dalton type of James Bond, and Roger Moore, he's able to blend these two characters together. With the next one, Daniel Craig, I've seen some of his movies, all of them but two and a half, I guess I could say. It's it's dark and serious, that kind of James Bond, and more of a killer. In this one, we get to see that side of James Bond with Pierce, where, Sophia is trying to mistakenly thinking he's soft, like he's a soft guy, and he just kills her right away once he realizes that she's not going to change. She's just going to be manipulating him, especially after she choked him, in that choke device, torture device thing. Just shoots her right away, but he still has that human side with her. And he kisses her after he kills her. But that's why I kind of like the Pierce Bond. I think he plays the cool, suave Bond, as well as the guy who's could be just a killer like that switch could turn on. I think he pulls it off very well. This is John Cleese is introduced in this movie. As will be the replacement as Q. He does pretty good. He's pretty funny in this one. And then, of course, Valentine returns, the good Russian guy, and he's the one that saves Bond. What's one thing I do like about Pierce? Seems like he does have a couple more returning characters, these side characters, either the FBI agent or Robbie Coltrane's character. Kind of connects his movies together. Very well done in that aspect. And I say this movie has some great action sequences, probably maybe the best of the Pierce's four movies. Whether it's zooming down the pipeline, the boat chase, the ski chase, and in the end, where they're working around a submarine trying to disarm it before it blows up. All that is very well done. And shot and filmed. The cinematography is very good in this movie. I like the locations that they chose. It's just, I think I would probably put this higher on the James Bond movies if it wasn't for the Denise Richards character. You got great villains. Bond's fantastic in this one. Chases, action. When you think of a James Bond movie, The World Is Not Enough is kind of like what you would think of, in my opinion. If it's better than Tomorrow Never Dies with Michelle, I think it might be right there with it. Have a great day, and let me know what your thought of The World Is Not Enough. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Where would you put it in the James Bond movies? And until next time, bye.